What is up, guys? My name is Chai T. Welcome back to my channel. This is my second episode of my From Scratch Iron series. I went over all the rules and goals for this series in my first episode, so if you guys haven't seen that already, you guys can go and check that out. But in general, the goals for me is to wear a tier 8 armor set without being able to buy any things off the market. So gathering, refining, crafting, I have to do all on my own. But an important thing I want you guys to know is that I have to sell anything I loot on the markets. This is to help me to be able to afford things like islands and repair costs. With all that being said, let's just jump straight into it. So this week, you guys can see in the background, I wanted to start my crafting and get that up to tier 4, as well as being able to buy or afford to buy a island. So I bought my island, leveled it up to the tier 2 island, so I got a farming plot, and then afterwards I went ahead and started to prep and gather stuff for my tier 4 armor and my tier 4 weapon. So other than that, a big goal for this week was for me to level up my island and level up my farming in order to raise mounts, because for me, riding on a donkey was just not cutting it. So you can see here that I kind of started my farming with a little bit of carrot farming and such, just to kind of get the ball rolling. I have to do this just straight off from level 1, and these carrots will be used for when I start to raise like the ox and the horse. Afterwards, I went ahead and did some solo dungeons just to level up my armor a little bit to tier 4, so that I can go ahead and craft the tier 4 armor and weapon and then be able to wear it without having any like delay or anything like that. So you can see in the background that I just go ahead and choose to use the mage robe just for like the purge, and the mage sandals. I think I just like the mage sandals, just using the mage sandals. And then I actually went with the scholar's cowl at first, but I decided that I wanted the mage cowl instead, just for the poison. This was for my solo build, so later on you guys can see that I actually craft a different set of armor for actually healing, but this armor is more for like going out trying to kill things with it. Makes it easier to use this stuff so that I can use poisons on like mobs and all that stuff. You guys can see that I do a couple more expeditions just to get some side money, and these Adept's Royal Sigils I can either use to crafting like a royal boots or anything, or just to sell in the marketplace for some extra cash. I could already wear tier 4 bags and tier 4 capes, so my next step for me, especially now since I still was using the donkey, was to get my tier 4 crafting up for the capes and the bags, just so that I can wear the tier 4 bags, and it'll help a lot when gathering and stuff with the donkey. And I was lucky enough, I actually got a masterpiece Adept's bag, so that'll help out a lot when gathering. After that, I used the looking for group chat to find a group near Thetford. I kind of wanted to do a yellow zone dungeon, and we went ahead and found one and completed it. A lot of green chests, but I had a lot of fame, or I got a lot of fame from it. It was helpful to boost my gear set a little bit further, and then you guys can just see I leveled up Expert Reaver, and then I got a couple ruins and bags of silver on the side, which helped out in affording like repairs and stuff like that. I'm just showing you guys all the loot stuff, so it's not going to take up too much of your guys' time. Now this last chest was actually a purple chest, which was a little bit better than all those other green ones, but still not really very much I got from it, just mostly ruins and a couple silver bags and stuff like that. One of my group members actually did get a tier 7 blood letter, which I mentioned in the chat. I was like, hey, you guys are getting all the good stuff. So he actually was willing to trade it over to me, which was very tempting to accept. I think that's about 100 and something thousand silver, but I had to decline, of course. And afterwards, that dungeon was done, we went ahead and tried to find another one. One of our party members left, but we still were able to 4-man this one pretty easily. We made it through maybe 75% way of the dungeon, and then our tank had to leave, so we kind of up and left after that. After that, I didn't have much else to do, so I kind of just wanted to try out some Hellgates, some solo Hellgates. I wasn't very familiar with this set, so I kind of died a couple times. You can see here that I kind of get into a fight. I actually almost get him pretty low to the point of killing him, but his DPS was just too much for me, so I end up going down. Probably could have played it a lot better, but that's whatever, just for fun. Still learning this kind of solo nature healer role. I do manage to get a kill just on another solo player in tier 2 armor and weapons, so that was a pretty easy kill for me. Kind of feel sorry for the guy, but I managed to get some loot out of that and finished it off. Then another one, I managed to steal a couple of things from the chest, but not really make it out alive. We kind of just ran around circles trying to do more damage to them. I eventually ran out of mana and then just killed over and died. Yeah, I kind of wasted a lot of time just doing that. I don't even know why I fought back, but it was kind of fun. So you guys saw that I hit a couple of these chests. I got mostly ruins, mostly like those artifact crafting ingredients, and a couple of tomes. Other than that, I went back to TheFatRat and leveled up my farming a little bit more. I was finally able to start to build a pasture, so I went ahead and demolished my farm after I harvested all those carrots. So I bought both those babies from the island, or the guy on the island. Was able to place them. Didn't really know what squares to place them on, honestly, because I only could afford to buy 2 because they're so freaking expensive. And then I managed to just feed him with the carrots that I picked, and then the only thing I had to do next was just wait for it. So I nurtured both these with my focus points that I had, just because I just need to keep these, just gotta keep them rolling with their babies coming in. I just gotta keep the babies rolling, so once I get those mounts, I can just plant the other babies, just feed the other ones, and keep them going so I don't ever run out of an ox or run out of a horse. Besides that, I am finally tier 4 armor sets and a tier 4 weapon, so I can go ahead and do the arenas. I wanted to try out the arenas and see how I could do. I don't know, I was just kind of playing around with all the healing and stuff like that. Kind of first time for me, just feeling out the healing roll and stuff like that. It's pretty fun, but I just wanted to see if I could get some epic heals and then pull off a win at the end. So we do manage to do this. I'll just show you guys a couple of the clips that I had from it, just kind of showing some of the gameplay of the actual combat. And finally, you guys can see that I managed to grow a full-grown ox and a full-grown horse after 24 something hours, 23 or something hours of waiting for them. It finally happened, and I went ahead and straight away went and made those into mounts. Now that I have these two mounts, it's pretty much all that I'll need. Obviously I'll get better and bigger mounts as the time goes by, but having the ox for that gathering, being able to not just have to keep going back and forth from the city and everything is going to be so helpful. And then horse I can just use for anytime we go like do dungeons or anything like that, or if I just want to run across to the different cities. Lastly, I decided to try my luck with some dungeons again, so I went into the looking for group chat again and kind of just waited until a healer place was needed, so it kind of took a while, but I feel like Theffer is not a very common place that people are looking for people. So I kind of was thinking about going over to the other cities and actually crafting a healing set in each of those cities so that I can just teleport naked and then already be there, equip my gear, so I don't have to, well, I can't buy anything to begin with, but so I don't have to craft the stuff already there and they have to wait on me. So I was thinking about that, never did it, but I was managed to find a group of people that wanted to do a yellow zone dungeon, and it's not very many chests that were too good, but what we managed to do was we managed to actually find a fifth floor dungeon, which was kind of epic for me. I never really had a fifth floor dungeon before, or I never really dealt with this boss or anything like that, so being able to find it was kind of cool, and then actually being able to defeat it was even cooler, seeing all the loot inside the chest. But I can't say that we were able to do this flawlessly. We died a lot, and we went through a lot of different group members too. We lost a tank, so we had to get a tank back, actually twice that happened, and then a guy was being real salty about everything, so we kicked him, got two more different guys that kind of knew what they're doing a little bit more, and finally managed to pull it off. So one tip for 5th floor dungeons is don't use nature healing. It's the worst. It's so bad. Like, I don't even know how we managed to do it. This was a tier 5 yellow zone 5th floor dungeon, so maybe that's why, but like no way in heck if it was a higher tier dungeon would I have been able to do it with a nature healing staff or anything like that. You guys can see the loot I got on the screen. And yeah, it was pretty cool. Alright guys, I just wanted to give a quick recap of all the loot that I got from the 5th floor dungeon. It's over here on the side over here, and I will have to sell all these things that I obtained from this, except the stuff up here, so like the ruins, the souls, and the artifacts. Like I mentioned in my first video, I'm going to be able to keep these, and what I really like is I actually got the Druidic inscription, so I can make a tier 5 Druidic staff, which is going to help out a lot with not having to keep rolling for artifacts and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll be able to go and sell these things. I think this one runs for about, I don't know, I think 300k hopefully or something like that, so that's going to be a real bank booster. But I kind of want to just go over where my bank stands out right now, and also my skill tree. So you guys can see that I have a lot of just materials crafted or gathered already, a lot of cotton over here, and then some of the other stuff. Not too much is going on, and not much of the higher tier things. Down below I just have like my farming stuff and everything like that. I'm just going to keep all the oxes and horses here and then craft them later when I need them. I don't have many gear things yet, so it's kind of just pretty plain. I'm just kind of leaving it be, all my tools, and then I just put all the loot in the bottom side, so it's a little bit easier to find, a little bit easy to see. So that's my bank for that, and I'll just go ahead and take a look at my skill tree now. So I'm Master Reaver, so that's going to help out a lot for doing higher tier dungeons and things like that, and when solo dungeons come out, that'll be really helpful. For my adventurers, I got Expert Adventurer, so I can now actually already wear the Expert Bag and the Expert Cape, so I'll try work my way up to that, but I gotta level up my crafting a little bit more. So my gathering is a little bit slacking. It probably takes the longest, but I think for me, I'm going to want to level up all these to tier 4 by the next week, hopefully. I'm not going to want to use any learning points yet. I think I'm going to save them mostly for maybe tier 5 or tier 6 or something like that. Over here you can see my crop farming, tier 5, tier 5 and level 2 for this one. No real masteries going on over here. So pretty basic. I haven't really touched these yet, or many of these crafting things, since I've leveled up to tier 4. But going over to the combat side, I have already leveled up to level 13 for my nature staffs, and I think the same for all the other ones. So I can wear tier 5 gear right now, and I think that the next step for me is just going to be trying to gather tier 5 and also refine and craft it so I can wear those different gear sets and the different weapons. I might work on a different skill tree. I might try to work on the priest a little bit more, and maybe some of the other staffs for like AoE DPS. As far as masteries goes, I'm not like too far into any, mostly just like 5 or 6. So yeah, the ones I use for the dungeons are probably the most leveled up ones, so not very far in any of these ones, but I'm hoping to level them up more as time goes by. So yeah, with that being said, I make these videos weekly, so every Monday I'm going to post one, and then if you guys liked it, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and if you guys think that I could do anything differently, just let me know. And with that, I will see you guys later.